AI, love it or hate it, love it. Why would you love AI? Hate it or hate it, AI is here to stay. I imagine a lot of people have a problem with that. Don't worry, so do I. I don't like using AI to do anything really. I mean, can see the use for it in like certain workplaces. If you like need AI to do something that's very hard or very like tedious to do, like if AI can do something that you definitely do not want to do, then I guess it's fine enough. But like people don't use it for that. They use it for art. If I'm being completely real here, I do not see the appeal of AI art or anything like that, which is why I'm going to test it out today because we are, drumroll please, well not we, but I am making AI write a book, and I'm 100% sure it's going to at least suck somewhat. We have a genre picker, which I think might be a little interesting. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have like two genres left. So we're going to spin this wheel until there's only two genres left. With that said, I don't know how we're going to do mockumentary since we're making AI write a book and not a movie. This is probably mostly for movies since there's like this movie thing and then this movie reference probably from something Hitchcock, but I digress. Let's just spin the wheel and see what we get. Okay, so this one's eliminated. I'm just going to I'm going to continue spinning until there's like two left. Looks like we have two genres left, and the genres the AI will write a book on is action, adventure, and comedy. I'm sure that'll be fun. Here I am on ChatGPT, which I never use actually. I mean, I've used it in the past, but like, no, I don't really use it because I don't need AI in my life. Anyway, so I was thinking maybe like 10 chapters is good, right? Uh, okay, we have a good basis here. I'm thinking we have like three main characters, and then the AI can do whatever they want. The novel consists of three main characters. I'm thinking the first one's name is gonna be Bobby. I'm thinking Bobby's like the leader for the group. Then I guess we could have like uh John. John is the hot-headed one of the group. And then one more, I'm thinking we could have like a love interest for Bobby, maybe like Barbara. You see, they it's like a love interest because they both have names starting with B, you know. So shut your fucking mouth. Barbara. I think this is really good. I say we send the prompt. Chapter 1. Three plob oh god. Chapter 1. Three problems and a flying sandwich. The town of Ashbrook had exactly three things it was famous for. Its annual pie festival. Okay. Its unusual its un its unusually aggressive geese, and the fact that something exploded at least once a month. What the hell is this? Bobby leaned against the counter of Murphy's Corner Cafe, confidently studying a map that was upside down. See, the joke is that like he thinks it's the right way, but like it's actually upside down. It's actually very comedic genius. Only real geniuses like myself would understand this this mature and honest joke. John burst through the cafe doors with enough force to make the bell above them surrender and fall onto the floor. What? I found a clue! Every customer turned to stare. John slammed a muddy backpack onto the table. Ew, wash your backpack. John proudly unzipped the backpack. I genuinely thought he was going to unzip something else. Out rolled 3 potatoes. Okay. A rubber chicken, half a chessboard, where's the other half? And a note. Bobby picked up the note. Return Greg's backpack immediately. John frowned. Wrong backpack. What? 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 Uh, why was there like a note that said return Greg's backpack immediately? What the hell? I borrowed. Oh, I borrowed it. The potatoes have someone's name carved into them? What the hell? Their conversation was interrupted by a loud crash outside. Everyone in the cafe rushed towards the windows. Across the street, an armored van had somehow become lodged halfway inside the town fountain. Okay. What? A man wearing a black suit climbed out of the driver's seat carrying a silver briefcase chained to his wrist. Then 3 motorcycles roared around the corner. The bikers wore matching black helmets. One pointed dramatically. There he is! You! He shouted. Bobby looked behind himself. The man sprinted across the street. John cracked his knuckles. Oh, finally. Barbara stepped between John and the street. Let's hear him out before you punch anyone. I make no promises. You have to take this. He thrust the briefcase towards Bobby. Bobby blinked. I'm sorry, who are you? The motorcycle screeched to a stop. The lead rider removed his helmet. He had a magnificent mustache that seemed almost villainous enough to deserve its own theme music. John stepped forward. I've been waiting all morning for someone to say something threatening. Barbara grabbed the back of his jacket. No fighting. I really hope this wouldn't become difficult. I have no idea why he's British, but he is. He snapped his fingers. The other bikers pulled out. Leaf blowers. Okay. The villain smiled. Industrial strength, leaf blowers. He squeezed the trigger. A hurricane force blast shot across the street. Napkins exploded into the sky. Bobby ducked just as a flying baguette missed his head by inches. Shit, it's in France. Barbara caught a spinning cafe chair before it hit an elderly woman. The Sweden man shoved the briefcase into Bobby's hand. It'll make sense later. The man sprinted away down an alley. The bikers immediately chased after, before realizing Bobby still had the briefcase. Why would they chase after the guy who obviously doesn't have a briefcase? Run! He grabbed the briefcase. He grabbed the briefcase. The bikers chased after them, leaf blowers roaring. Vegetable stand erupted behind them. Tomatoes flew like cannonballs. A cabbage stuck John squarely on the forehead. He picked it up. I'm keeping it. Why? He dashed into a narrow alley. Dead end. John looked at the brick wall. Bobby looked at the wall. Barbara looked upward. There! A rusted fire escape hung above them. Bobby jumped. Missed. John jumped. John jumped. That's fun to say. John jumped. John jumped. John jumped. They climbed just as the bikers rounded the corner. The mustache villain looked up. I hate stairs. One of his henchmen raised a hand. We could just use the leaf blowers. The villain smiled. Now you're thinking. The first blast struck the fire escape. The entire metal structure shuddered. Bolts squealed. The ladder snapped free. The 3 friends stared at one another. Run? Bobby suggested. Definitely run, Barbara agreed. John laughed. This is officially the best Tuesday ever. Why is it on a Tuesday? It should have been on a Wednesday. Bad writing. Bobby tightened his grip on the case. I don't know what's inside. John grinned. I hope it's dangerous. Barbara rolled her eyes. I hope it's worth all this. Far below, the mustached villain smiled to himself. This, he said with a grin, is where the fun begins. Flying sandwich wasn't. When was there a flying sandwich? There was never a flying sandwich? What the hell? Anyways, I'm going to like make the other like 9 chapters like off screen. So while I'm doing that, here's like an intermission, I guess.
New Zealand.
You can probably tell from the different T-shirt. It is a new day. I have put the whole story in a Google Doc, which is 168 pages. I also had AI generate this novel cover. Bro, who even is ML Carter? Like, God, this 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 genuinely drained me from like positive energy. I decided to like read all this just to see if it was any good. Not that I expected it to be good, but I just wanted to like double check, you know what? It was so draining to read that. I've never had that experience before. Like it was genuinely frustrating. I specifically remember like reading like chapter 9 and then I like and then I read like a sentence or something and I just couldn't read the next sentence. Like I genuinely couldn't make myself do it. It was like torture. And it genuinely drained me from like positive energy. It's insane. That it's just a dumb story. It's not even good. It's like it's genuinely a 1 out of 10. You know what? You know what else? I had ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT if ChatGPT thought the novel would be successful, and what did ChatGPT say? I think it has real commercial potential. Dude, oh, ChatGPT is so pretentious. Let's read what's working in the novel's favor. Clear trio dynamic. Leader, Bobby, hothead, John, and sensible heart, Barbara. Dude, it's okay. My biggest problem with this story is with John, right? He's supposed to be like a hothead. John isn't a hothead. He's just fucking stupid. It, ah, it just drove me crazy. Like, there's no jokes. There's no humor other than John just being dumb. But that's besides the point. Let's move on. Fast pacing. Brother, what? Chases, tunnels, countdowns, villains, secret organizations. That's not fast pacing. That's stuff that happens in this quote unquote novel. Like this is not a novel. This is a novel. Like this is the type of shit that a first grader would come up with. Actually, that's insulting to first graders. I'm sorry. It's not even fast pacing. Like characters will straight up have a short conversation that that apparently lasts 2 seconds. Like it's genuinely just 20 seconds remaining before like something happens, and then they have like a small conversation that might last like 10 seconds. In reality, which this book definitely does not know what is. And then after they're done with the like 10-15 second long conversation, the countdown's like 18 seconds. Jesus Christ. And also, it just feels so slow. It drives me crazy, genuinely. Strong comedy hook. The leaf blowers and Carl the Cabbage are memorable. Dude, I could not remember either the leaf blowers or Carl the Cabbage until they were mentioned, and I was like, all right, that's in this story. Like, I genuinely forgot about that part. Series potential. Best Tuesday ever implies future adventures. How? How does that? How does Best Tuesday ever imply future adventures. Dude, oh, what would help it sell better? Character depth. Yes, you definitely need to, expand that. Like, genuinely, Bobby was just. Dude, Poppy and Josh were just stupid, and then Barbara was like, guys, what if we use logic? Oh, and then I think ChatGPT just forgot that Barbara was supposed to like have a little crush on Bobby, so I had to like remind them. I had to remind AI that Barbara had a crush on Bobby, and then after that, Chat would not shut up about it. Holy shit! They every chapter after that just had Barbara loved Bobby's smile or some stupid shit like that. A small spoiler, like you care. Um, the story does not end with Bobby and Barbara, starting to date or something like that. It just ends with them having completed the adventure. No lessons learned. Nothing. The only change was an addition to the crew. What was that addition? A cabbage. World building. Ashbrook could feel more unique with recurring locations, town quirks, and history. Dude, you don't. It's an adventure novel. You don't have to place it in one setting. You could take them from a town to a desert to a when Antarctica to, the jungle. You can take them literally anywhere. Why are you placing them in a small town? Not even on a small town, just the roof and then underground. Oh, villain motivation. Vale is intriguing, but a small personal connection to the heroes would make him stronger? That's not necessarily true, and also, I do not remember Vale or whoever like that is. Like, that's probably I think that's the main villain. I genuinely don't know. It's so bad that I have forgotten most of the story. Hell, while I was reading, I was forgetting the story as I was reading. Like, that rarely happens to me. Like, it's happened like a couple times, but that's not usual with me. I cling on to things when I read them, unless it's like boring. And this is fucking boring. Also, a personal connection to the hero, yeah, it might make for a better villain. But Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, yeah, maybe Death had like a connection to uh Puss, but and maybe Goldilocks doesn't really count as a villain, but Jack Horner, the main villain for that movie, does not have a real connection with Puss, right? He's just there because, and he is great, like genuinely great. You do not need the villain to be connected to the heroes necessarily. Chapter transitions, smoother scene changes would make the book feel less episodic. It doesn't feel episodic. What are you talking about? And also, um, chapters are meant to be there as like episodes. Like if you want to, um, take a break in reading, you can use the chapter to take a break because it's the end of that chapter. Kind of like how if you're watching a show, you can finish the episode and then take a small break, My realistic sales estimate. Let's read this. If you self-published it exactly as written now, I'd expect family, friends, local readers, school/community events, and online niche audiences might enjoy it, but widespread bookstore placement would be unlikely without further development. That's half true. That last part, widespread bookstore placement would be unlikely, that's true. But friends, family, whatever, enjoying it, not true. This was so ass. Holy shit. The strongest selling point. Honestly, it's John. Honestly, he was the worst part. Bookstore staff often hand sell books based on one unforgettable character. That is true, and a chaotic, lovable hothead carrying a named cabbage through an apocalypse. What apocalypse are you talking about? There isn't an apocalypse. They stopped the apocalypse, I think. The biggest opportunity. I'd focus on making readers care deeply about Bobby and Barbara. Right now, the comedy is excellent. It's not. I might have, I don't remember, but I might have laughed a couple times. Like ironic enjoyment during the first chapter. After that, it was all downhill. I kid you not, it was all downhill. Right now, the comedy is excellent, adding a stronger emotional payoff, which turned the book from fun into memorable. I genuinely don't think it's possible. If you'd like, I can also give you a mock bookstore back cover blurb and a one-sentence sales pitch to see how it might be marketed to publishers or booksellers. Dude, genuinely, no one would want this book. Genuinely, they would read the first draft and just light fire on it, not caring who came in with it. They would just put it up to fire, and I would be happy if they did. I kind of want to do it like the back cover blurb, honestly. Bobby thought Tuesday would be. Honestly, fuck this. Read this yourself. I'm not doing this. There we go. Now it has like a page for itself that you can read if you want. You genuinely. Barbara thinks they're all going to get arrested. I genuinely don't care. I hope they do, actually, for being part of this book. Listen, I know that creating shit is hard. I think it's hard. Like, my hobby is writing movie scripts, and I have written at least 2 movie scripts that I know are horrible and that I have not finished yet. But at least it's mine, you know? It's complete shit, but at least it's my shit, you know? Like, this isn't even my shit. It's just like stolen shit, and that's horrible. Why would you think that this is the future of entertainment if I get drained out of everything in my body just by reading it? Holy shit, it's bad. Like, genuinely awful. 1 out of 10. Like, there's so many people who, with drawings and art and stuff like that, they go, I can't even draw a stick figure. Bitch, just pick up a pen and learn. If you draw a bad stick figure, it's better than a generic AI anime picture. Genuinely, just make shit yourself. At least it has some soul. I believe that real human art, no matter how good or bad it is impossible, at least for me, to call slop. It is my belief that AI can't make art. They just make pictures that look like art. But it's not art, because art is something human made that has soul in it. AI can't put soul in things because it doesn't really have one. And no matter what you make, as long as you made it yourself, at least it's somewhat decent. Because if you made things because you genuinely wanted to be made, that's great. This story is horrible. It really is. And people make stuff that's not great. But my least favorite movie is way better than this AI shit. All of the story. Don't use AI. Just make something yourself. That'll be better. Roll credits. Phew, I am drained. plot. Oh God, I cannot say. Dude, why? I always have like trouble with like the difference between R and L. You would think I'm Asian. Yeah, that joke wasn't even funny. I'm sorry.